My salutations to everyone assembled here. Pranam. Good morning. Long back, I heard a story, a parable from my guru, Swami Chinmayananji. There was a shepherd. He was taking his flock of sheep together. A visitor came on the way and asked the shepherd, "How much wool does your sheep give you every month?" The shepherd asked the traveler, "Black or white sheep, which are you asking about?" He said, "The black." He said, "The black gives me around 2 kgs of wool." "So what about the white?" He said, "The white also gives me 2 kgs of wool." "Okay. How much fodder do you feed your sheep every day?" So the shepherd asked, "Which one, black one or white one?" So the traveler asked, "Which one?" So the shepherd said, "How much?" So the shepherd said, "Which one, black one or white one?" So he said, "Black one." He said, "Black one takes 1 kg of fodder, and white one?" He said, "White one also takes 1 kg of fodder." So the questions went on, and every time he put a question, the shepherd asked, "Which one, black one or white one?" In the end, the traveler asked him, "Why do you ask this question every time when I ask you? You say, which one, black one or white one?" He says, "The black ones are mine." "So what about the white one?" He said, "The white ones are also mine." The human mind has an ability to divide anything. The human mind has the ability to find divisions where it is holistic. Our rishis have understood this well. They have understood that the human mind is capable of devising anything, make divisions. Hindu culture accommodates variety of methods. Every method of practice is valid. And since the human mind likes to divide, we must have variety. We cannot serve with one book, one way. We must have variety because the human mind demands variety. So our rishis have given variety of practices. Each practice is valid at its level, at the level. That practice is valid. Yesterday, in the inaugural sessions, we heard few speakers were talking about saying, reduce rituals, focus more on knowledge. No doubt it is important, but please understand rituals are also valid. There are very many practices are practicing rituals and they will grow. So Hindu culture accommodates all practices. So when we talk about Hindu organization commits to one practice. Various Hindu organizations commit to one practice. Someone may be following Nirvikalpa method, Nirguna method, the formless worship. Someone may follow form worship. Someone may follow bhakti, someone may follow jnana, someone may follow karma. Someone can follow yantra, someone can follow tantra, someone can follow mantra. Varieties are plenty and all are accommodated. So if we are going to talk about Hindu organizations coming together, we should never even attempt coming together on the theological level. At theological level, we admire the divisions, we admire all paths. But there are certain areas where we have to come. For religions, apart from Hinduism, coming together is so easy. They have a theological enemy. When they have a theological enemy, that brings them together. Hindu culture is all accommodative. It cannot have a theological enemy. It is impossible. That's why we are the ones who keep saying Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, whole universe is a family, not world. Our gods are called Vishwanath, not just the world, Lord of the world, we call Lord of the universe. So we have a very broad universal vision, which has the depth to accommodate all methods. That's the beauty of Hinduism. If any religion reaches to its zenith, it will have the same depth. Hinduism has reached the zenith long ago. That's why it accommodates. And please remember, the varieties which are there is so well accommodated, and it has survived and still survives and will continue to flourish even in coming times because the depth it has. Now, when organizations are holding on to one aspect, it is impossible to come together on theological front. But we can come together on certain threads. For example, Bharat, when we say Bharat is shrinking, please understand. 1,000 years ago, what we called Bharat and what we call now is shrinking. It has come less in size. So Bharat shrinking is a warning which we need to wake up, because it is shrinking. We were quite wide and vast, and we have lost many geographical places, and we have shrunk. Now, why have we shrunk? The places where Hindu culture was no more daily practiced, Hindu dharma, people moved away, accepted some other faith. That place lost identity called Bharat. So Bharat shrinking is one warning we need to take, because we cannot afford to shrink further. We need to be together. When India went out, Bharat went out, sorry. When Bharat went out on nuclear power, Abdul Kalam said, strength respects strength. That's a very powerful statement. We need to show our strength to be respected. We cannot become smaller further. So now this is one area all organizations can come together saying, we do not want to shrink Bharat together. Or we can come together like yesterday's presentation Swamiji made on temple funds. Now on that we can come together. All organizations can definitely come together and say, temple funds must be used for Hindu culture. Female infanticide which happens in our land, for that we can come together. So these kind of issues we can sort down. On these issues we can definitely come together, and together we can raise our voice. Together we can make people hear us. When do we come together? Where is the togetherness of Hinduism? Traditionally we have a method called Kumbh Mela. Kumbh Mela is a place where many wings, many organizations, many methods, followers of all this come together. It's one of the largest, or rather the largest congregation upon earth. It is this strength we need to try and tap. So here togetherness, if an organization like VHP can work out, because it has to be done by a common organization, a neutral organization. It can't be done by another spiritual organization practicing a method. A neutral organization should tap these resources, identify, and if we can network there, together we can voice out. This many sants, this many organizations, this many people together demand this. For example, it can be a demand. Together we can make a demand. Restore the properties of the Kashmir Pandits. Now this many people voicing together, these kind of togetherness we can tap, try doing it, do a network in a place like Kumbh Mela. In Chennai some years ago, we started a program called Hindu Spiritual Service Fair. Sri Gurumurti ji and me, we took this initiative, and for 6 years we have done this, continuing again. In this, what we did, we brought Hindu organizations together for a fair. Like you have book fair, like you have industrial fair, Hindu Spiritual Service Fair. We brought various organizations together, and each one was given a stall. And in the stall, they depicted what work each organization is doing and their own literature for sale, books for sale, souvenirs for sale. So people who walked into it saw in one go variety of practices of Hindu culture. This was a great revelation to many people, because members of each organization started admiring other organizations. For example, in Chinmaya Mission, we run around 90 schools, Chinmaya Vidyalayas. When we went into Ramakrishna Mission stall and saw their details, Ramakrishna Mission runs 1,500 schools. A great admiration went to Ramakrishna Mission for the cause, what they're doing. This exhibition or fair made us admire. When we looked into Vivekananda Kendra, we saw they run around 80, 90 schools only in Northeast India. So the mutual respect and reverence came when we went into this. So this is another area where we can think of coming together. An organization like VHP has to look into organizing this fair in every town. Maybe once in 3 years. And it can shift from one place to another. So the members from the town come there, see what all these organizations to do. What are the work, what are the seva these organizations do. And in the fair, what we organized was, in the end, when you're walking out into the last stall, when you're walking out, in the walkaway area, we put a banner. Together, how many schools we run, Hindu organizations, whoever were part of that fair. Together, how many hospitals we run. Together, how many temples we run. So this was demonstrated. So public, when they came, they saw, saying this is the collective reach of service. And which also showed the size of Hindu strength. Like I said, strength respects strength. This showcases the strength. It comes together. Once the network of these organizations can be done well, probably common demands we can make. That way, on non-theological, social issues, which are a threat for Hinduism, in that area, all the organizations can certainly come together. I thank the organizers for the opportunity. Thank you very much.